Welcome to this Easter weekend special. We're going to talk about whether or not the metaverse and or DeFi are all in serious trouble. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to the channel. Be sure that you're subscribed and click that bell icon so you're notified when new videos come out. My name is Seth. You're watching Mine Your Biz, and this is a segment where we're just going to talk about markets quickly. We're going to talk about some news articles quickly and also talk about our portfolios, which we've not checked in on in quite some time. Also, an update on GPU mining profitability. So don't go anywhere. Current fear and greed index is a score of 28. Hasn't updated just yet. As of the time of recording, we've still got another hour or so before it does update. The trend, pretty much the same. We've been in fear for quite some time, usually associated with price. Here's our chart for Bitcoin. Looks like we might break out. I don't believe that yet. I think this is a little bit of a fake out, not a breakout. And I think we're going to continue down this trend just a little bit longer. Honestly, we could sustain this movement, this channel downward with all of the other world conditions, in my opinion, right? Not legal, financial, or business advice, as per usual. Do your own research. Don't get wrecked. But I think we could maintain this current trajectory for quite some time into the mid-30s, all the way down to maybe 30K, still be very, very comfortable and be positioned for a potential reversal back into serious bullishness. Is that really just my gut talking? Yep, just my gut talking. Of course, I also believe that it's entirely possible that we could see new lows of 15K with Bitcoin. 10K, very unlikely, but we could see a potential low of 15K once we finally do look for bottom support in a prolonged bear market. I don't think we're there yet, though. I think it is very possible that we do have another leg up, especially with the money printer kind of doing what it's been doing. That value needs to flow somewhere, and a lot of people have been recurring to Bitcoin, but that's the chart. Current news, got Epic Games raising $2 billion for Metaverse, MasterCard selling NFT plans, or rather MasterCard having NFT sales plans, and then Ripple scoring a big win against the SEC. I'm excited about that. Guys, am I a Ripple holder? No. Do I have XRP? No. But did I want Ripple Labs to lose its case against the SEC? Obviously not. You'd have to be crazy to want that. And I've been consistent in that opinion that I think that these are some of the few canaries in the coal mine that we get right now to fight against the SEC. Another big high-profile case against the SEC would be Library, LBRY, ticker symbol LBRY in the platform Odyssey, which we are backing up our videos to. If you haven't subscribed over there, maybe check us out. Be a really good backup just in case. But these two high-profile cases versus the SEC, whatever happens in these cases, whatever is decided in these cases is going to affect the rest of the cryptocurrency market. So we need to pay attention and we need to take heed of what will happen afterwards. As far as Epic Games, you might be wondering, who are they? If you don't play video games, well, they publish several titles, not the least visible of which is Fortnite, and then some other games as well. $2 billion for Metaverse, and MasterCard looking at selling NFTs. But here is my big question. Is this the right time? Is it the right plan? Are they a little bit too late to the party? I suspect that maybe they are. Here's a data point on an older article. This is out of Kotaku, but I mean, this is nothing but gaming on this particular news outlet. And this is from last month, almost a month ago at this point. But Storybook Brawl, this was jointly launched by FTX and also released on the Steam store. So you could download this directly to your PC or any platforms, rather gaming consoles that allow for Steam downloads. But Storybook Brawl, sponsored by FTX, totally goes to crap because the community basically just poops all over. They basically just say like, hey, it's an obvious money grab. We're gamers. We actually don't care about whether or not there's NFT ownership. And well, these guys, instead of going to the crypto sort of fanatics, they went the sort of more legit route by launching it on this platform, and they got beat down. Here is the Steam store, their online store at store.steampowered.com. And this is Storybook Brawl with an overwhelmingly negative rating. You can see it right there. Overwhelmingly negative. Only 14% of all reviewers voted it as positive. So there you go. Back in March, the developer was recently bought out by a crypto company, FTX, that plans to use the game as a test bed for NFT monetization strategies. No thanks. and this is just what everybody said. They pretty much copied and pasted it, helped make inroads with gamers. Well, guess what? Gamers are pretty smart people. They're intelligent people, and they don't want to be sold to if they don't have to be. If the game is good, they're going to review it as good. If the gameplay isn't good, well, then having an NFT marketplace attached to it obviously is not going to make it any better. And we know this too. Within the cryptocurrency ecosystem, plenty of us are gamers as well, so bummer, but I wonder if it is a good idea for these other companies to raise so much and stake so much on these platforms, on the metaverse play. In bigger news, Uniswap is still under the threat of class action lawsuits. This is new. Here's the TLDR. Uniswap faces 2 class action lawsuits. Alleges the allegation is that they've sold unregistered securities and failed to take the necessary steps to restrict any kind of fraud taking place or rug pulls taking place vis-a-vis having identity checks, something like that. And they're worried that this could bode ill for the Uniswap standing against the SEC and potentially lead to new cases between the SEC and Uniswap Labs, as well as their backers. This is also a big deal because a couple of these class action lawsuits actually name some of the VC backers of Uniswap Labs and the founder as well, Hayden Adams. So Andreessen Horowitz, Paradigm, Union Square Ventures, and AH Capital Management. The lawyers claim the backers were aiding and abetting Uniswap's failure to register as an exchange or broker dealer. Did they allow for rug pulls? Well, Kobe went to Twitter pretty quickly a couple of days ago to say Uniswap lawsuit has me rolling. She needed consistent disclosures to figure out that Rocket Bunny token, Boom Baby, and Matrix Samurai were not legitimate, sensible investments. And he's not wrong. You got to do your own research. How many times have you heard me say that? You can't just rely on 1 or 2 people talking on YouTube or on Twitter or just see the press releases, because newsflash, even the VCs in the traditional investing world, they have media campaigns. They push millions of dollars of ads through Facebook and through Google and through Bing and every other place, Twitter included, where those ads are pushed through to make it seem like the greatest thing since sliced bread. So it's very, very easy for the wrong messaging to reach consumers. You have to do your own research. I, for one, don't think that this kind of a class action lawsuit has any kind of merit, but you tell me what you think down in the comment section. Do you think that decentralized protocols like Uniswap as a protocol should be under scrutiny by either class action lawsuits or by law enforcement agencies or by regulatory bodies like the SEC? Tell me in the comment section. Something that I brought up over on TikTok, but not here on YouTube just yet, is Tornado Cash's post from yesterday as well, where they claimed Tornado Cash uses Chainalysis Oracle contract, or the Chainalysis Oracle contract, to block OFAC sanctioned addresses from accessing the DApp. Maintaining financial privacy, and this is where I think they're doing some lip service, is essential to preserving our freedom. However, it should not come at the cost of non-compliance. It sounds an awful lot like what Zcash says, right? Where it's like, hey, we don't want to be delisted. We don't want any of the tokens or the platforms that use our tech to be delisted. So we're just going to like bend the knee here a little bit. I see a problem with it. It does blacklist some addresses that are known bad actors. Case in point, the country of North Korea. Its little hacking group took credit for having exploited the Ronin contract and taking tens of millions of dollars of value away from unsuspecting victims and then running it through Tornado Cash as a protocol. Most people would say that's really, really bad. Well, I'm here to say that's how it's designed. That'd be like decrying the use of cash, right, in international crime, which, by the way, by the numbers, is still criminals' currency of choice. The US dollar in cash notes, $20 bills and $100 bills. Those two are the most popular form of currency for crime. And so anything else, like, you know, don't even get started on like, oh no, there was a crypto that was used by criminals. Yeah, right. There was also a currency for our entire lifetimes plus, right? And our parents and our grandparents. It's called the US dollar. So I think there's a bit of a problem with pointing the finger at this. However, some people got their undies in a bunch and said, oh no, you guys aren't really that good. Should have used Monero. Oh no, it was only a matter of time before they bent the knee. Well, I'm here to say all it needs is a new front end. but I'm a little bit more of a privacy fanatic. I like this stuff to be I like to err on the side of freedom rather than not on the side of freedom, because once you give up those freedoms, very hard to get them back. Far better to have protocols and not worry about the platforms, right? Like, this is a platform, and their platform, the front end of the dApp, uses this Chainalysis Oracle. But the protocol itself, the back end that actually powers everything and includes the full anonymity set of this tool, does not. So anybody could host a new front end, or it could be hosted on IPFS, and that would solve that problem. But you tell me what you think down in the comments below. We're going to go a little bit over the 10-minute mark for this video so I can tell you a bit more about our GPU profitability. Currently, RTX 3090 Ti is doing, on our average of 14 cents per kilowatt hour power, a little over $4.39. That's up from the last couple of days. So profits are definitely up, but it's primarily just in Ethereum. Is that a good reason to buy GPUs? No, I've been urging against that for quite some time. Quite some time. Not a good time to buy GPUs. Or is it? Let's take a look at Amazon. This is the Zotac Gaming GeForce RTX 3090 Ti, the most visible, most available version of this GPU, and it's shipping at pretty darn close to MSRP with 2-day shipping, right? They've got a little delay right here. I've got a fake address out in Beverly Hills that it's shipping to, but it's in stock. It's in supply. So are all of the other RTX cards, the latest RTX cards, AMD cards, right? Nature is healing. The prices are going back to MSRP. So is it a good time to buy for the purpose of mining only? Maybe not. Is it a good time to buy if you need GPUs? Well, maybe, as inflation continues to rise, as we continue to move past those obvious double digits of inflation, maybe you do want your money to work harder for you by making that purchase happen sooner than later. Not telling you what to do, just telling you might want to keep your head on a swivel right now. And if you know you need to capitalize some gear, consider it. Really, consider it. Or get pre-orders in. Hopefully they don't go canceling pre-orders if inflation continues to rise and we see the buying power of the dollar go down. But just that's my thought, is that we're at kind of a sweet spot, kind of an inflection point of prices being reasonably good and inflation not going runaway just yet. But if it does go runaway, well, these prices may go up again. And yeah, we don't know. We don't know. If the inflation starts to go runaway but the prices stay the same, then actually your dollar buys more here. Am I getting that quite right? Almost, yeah. Your dollar buys more here before we hit that knee of the curve. Maybe there's a decoupling of the rest of inflation and some of the cost of tech. For whatever reason, tech seems to have been spared a lot of the inflation problems of other assets and then other goods and services like food and gasoline. So you run that calculus for yourself. Just wanted to call that out, that it's a possibility that you might consider getting some of your gear now. As far as coins that are profitable to mine, it is Ethereum primarily at the top of the list, which is why it's not a good time to buy GPUs. Yes, the Beacon chain merge has been delayed, according to Tim Bako, and I don't know that means that we've got a whole lot longer and that you may be able to completely pay off a full GPU by the time it does switch to proof of stake. I'm not convinced that's the case, especially with these prices, right, of profitability. I'm not convinced that it's the right time to make that move. So be very, very cautious. But if you need a GPU, it's not a bad time to buy a GPU just because you need one, right? And maybe some kind of an upgrade or something. I'm looking at one myself, and I've been waiting a little bit of time to upgrade my main workstation GPU for that purpose. Every other mining GPU in my possession has just been stuff that is a little bit, it's kind of like more on the side of legacy, that is still grinding out good hash rate, but isn't breaking the bank. And that's what I've been preaching for a long time, guys. Use it up, wear it out. Go previous gen or the generation before that, if you know it's still profitable, and just make it work until it stops being profitable. You don't need to capitalize on the latest gear. Even if you tell yourself it's the most efficient or whatever, it never plays out quite as nicely as you think. I think Bitsby Trippin is of the same mindset. You can see that he's still running very, very old cards very profitably in his case. So that's our GPU mining outlook right now. Looking at some of our proof of stake smart contract platforms in the CoinGecko portfolio. Got Terra at the top of the list. It's been doing quite well above everything else, but the 7-day has not been good. Well, why? certainly there's some correlation to Bitcoin. We see this chart. Let's count back 7 days. Yeah, last 7 days, we saw one really big red candle and a couple of other consistent candles downward. 2 week, it's just been down, right? So consistently down. So the 7 day, anything that's not in the red is an anomaly. Kusama up, EOS up by 10% in 7 days. That's impressive, unless you look at the long-term hold. And the other question is, what's happening with EOS that would cause that? Is it manipulation? Is it actual development? Is there new functionality being rolled out? I don't know EOS well enough to be able to answer that. If you want, should I check in with my buddy CryptoBlood, see what CBTV has to say about it, maybe have him on the channel? Hit that like button and leave a comment if you want me to call in CryptoBlood, because I think we need the big guns to understand what's really happening with EOS right now, to see that it's going against the grain. How's that happening? My brain is about to break because I don't understand EOS very well. I do understand Wax, though, which is a fork of EOS, and it's been doing reasonably well, not as heavy hit as Terra has been over the last 7 days. Also, with so much love from Bitcoiners, it's kind of a surprise that Terra is down so much. One final thing that I want to take a look at before we move on are our IBC gang right here. So IBC Gang, this is all of the IBC related coins. This is stuff that's within the Cosmos Hub ecosystem, including Terra and Cadena, Secret, Cosmos Hub, etc., many others. I want to see what's good in that area. Sentinel up, Certic up, Akash Network up, kind of level there. And I want to reissue my call for an ecumenical discussion, a friendly debate, not even with the timbre of a debate, but more of a discussion between Greg Osuri of the Akash Network Project and Daniel Keller of the Flux Network Project. I've asked you guys on a couple of occasions. You both responded to my tweet on Twitter. Please hit me up in DMs, Discord, or Telegram, or what the heck, on Twitter. Let's make it happen. Let me moderate a discussion between the two of you so we can talk about decentralized services, because clearly the market is saying that decentralized services are where it's at. DVPNs, distributed VPNs, are doing extremely well right now, as well as distributed compute projects. They're doing quite well because of that added utility. And this isn't a big shock to any of us who've been paying attention to fundamentals over the last several years. So I'd love to have you both on a panel discussion to talk about the shared challenges that you have, not to bash each other, but just talk about the shared challenges you have and some of the architectural choices and differences that you different paths that your projects took, and maybe why. I think it could be very, very enlightening, especially for the Mind Your Biz audience and for anybody who's interested in just knowing how did these projects get to the point that they're at right now. But at any rate, I digress. I want to take a look at the IBC Gang side of the portfolio just to see what's good. Persistence is not down as bad as some of the other projects that are out there. Same with Comdex, though it is close to that $1 mark. That's quite a dip from its all-time high. And certainly when we made our portfolio entries, let's take a look from a P&L perspective, what's doing best. And this isn't a shock, right? Cadena is on our FPGA list as well. Secret, Cosmos Hub, and Osmosis are the only ones in the black. Everything else, literally everything else, is in the red. Some in the red, almost up to 80% down from when we created the portfolio entry, in part because XPRT or persistence was so incredibly successful at that point, right? For it to be just nearing the $3 mark and almost 80% down from when we made the portfolio just means that it was absolutely like a juggernaut when we created that entry at that time frame. So that's the show for right now. I wish we could do a more in-depth show. Don't want to abuse your attention or your trust. Appreciate you watching, checking in on some of these additional market updates. Let me know. Do you want to see Greg Osuri and Daniel Keller talk on this show? You got to hit them up on Twitter. If you're a part of these communities, then go ahead and make noise in their communities. Let's get this thing started. Let's actually get these two on a panel, possibly some others as well from some distributed projects, such as Sentinel and such as the other distributed VPN projects out there, Boarding Protocol and others. Let's get them on a panel talking about decentralized compute, talking about the shared challenges they have, talking about the future opportunities and the challenges that they've already met so far and overcome. I think that the market deserves to hear it. When price action is down, this is when we have to talk to the builders, guys. Mind Your Biz community, I promised you that I would start doing this. Help me get these people onto the channel, because now's the time to check in with them, see who's putting in the work, see how we can help them add value. All right, guys, appreciate you watching to the end of the video. Be sure to slap that like button and then smash that subscribe button. Be sure that you are sharing these videos when they come out. Guys, it really helps. Every click counts. Appreciate you watching to the end. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. Remember to check out mineyour.biz, where you can sign up for Mine Your Biz Insiders, our occasional newsletter where we don't spam you, but we do send out occasional important information, including flash sales and important deals on privacy-preserving technology. This is one of the ways that we can talk to you without censorship and without the oversight of third-party media platforms. You can also check out the new Mine Your Biz phone, as well as merch, or sign up to become an affiliate for anything sold directly on the mineyour.biz website. You can earn a percentage of anything that we sell. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz.